most significant part of the game was, at various times when there was adversity, whether it was at the beginning of the second half, third quarter. They made a couple runs when they made some plays. I thought that, we didn't split apart. We came together, and it showed down the stretch, defensively and also with our execution. The fact that we were sharing the ball late.
I want to ask about Dejounte Murray and just making that shot. Karis LeVert was all over him with a minute left. Just what have you seen from him, and also being able to draw those two four-point plays and another three-point play when it mattered at the end?
Well, him being aggressive from the three-point line is a big thing for us and a big thing for him. And then also, getting downhill and getting to the rim. When he does those two things, it really puts pressure on the defense. And then, the ability to, make a play and rise up and take a contested shot. That's when his mid-range game is so important, during those times, because that's, he's able to rise up and use his length. But I thought, really other parts of his game, I thought he and Trey, played together in a way that I was really happy to see that. I thought they played off each other, and you could see there was a connectivity there that is important to our whole team. And, we had great effort off the bench as well. Sadiq and O in particular, really gave us a lot, and were able to build a lead when those guys were in the game.
I know that first half especially. Well, actually, I'll talk about the offensive side first. Just the fact that you guys were able to put up 120 points on statistically the best defense in the NBA. Just what did you see that worked, especially there in that second half?
Well, I mean, the key for us is to have our eyes out in space and share the ball. And if we're not spaced, we can't find people. If our eyes aren't out, we can't pass the ball. Then we got to move it to the open man. And for the most part, I thought that we were conscious of that. I thought, Trey with one turnover in the second half was a big deal. He was really letting the game come to him, and Dejounte was making plays. I thought JC had a big play late. We had contributions from a lot of guys, when he got in the pocket and made that pass. So good things all around.
When you talk about connectivity, I'm curious what the trouble is with them being able to translate it from game to game, especially when you guys are working on the consistency part.
Well, I mean, as we all know, as human beings, to be connected, people spend their whole lives trying, striving for that. Whether whatever discipline you want to try to find to do that, and it's one of the really, great things about this game is that. When the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, it usually means you're connected. And I thought that, we were urgent defensively. There's some times where, it's hard to defend in transition when we miss a layup or turn the ball over. Those things happen, but, collectively we never let the game and the adversity of the game kind of split us. I thought we stayed together, and it's emblematic with, some big stops. Donovan obviously was making some shots, and we tried to do a few things with him that required five guys. And, I think for the most part, like I said, we played as a team, which is a lot, we say that, anybody that's been a part of a team, it's not that easy to do. It takes sacrifice, and you have to think about the guy next to you and do things for each other. And, that manifests itself a lot of ways.
And then as far as feet tonight, I'm kind of curious what went into the decision to play him in the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a process of just looking for guys that want to compete and that work and that are selfless. And that's what he's been for us. So I just felt like it was a good time to give him an opportunity. And no disrespect to any of the other guys who, didn't play. I think, he made one. He can pass, and I think that's a connective play. And that's what he did.
Coach, you kind of alluded to it already. Donovan Mitchell had a very special night. You guys spent some time after the game. Mm-hmm. What's it like just seeing him evolve into the player he is today?
Well, he's a special player, and for me, he's that doesn't really do it justice because he's a special special young man, and he's still a young man. That's a credit to him that he's been able to grow as a player. The things that he works, and he tries to work on his game and get better all the time. So, you look at a guy like that and you see him. It's a little strange seeing him on the other team, and some of the things that I was rejoicing in, I wasn't so happy to see him doing against us. And like you said, he had a terrific game. He's tough to handle. We tried to switch and then double him and tried to blitz his pick and roll, a lot of different things we were doing. And where he's gotten as a player, he's aware of how people are guarding him, and he anticipates those things a lot more than he did a few years ago. And he's willing to take what the defense gives him, and that makes him even more difficult to guard.
Quinn, Onyeka, you mentioned him earlier, but he shot 11 for 12 from the free throw line. What is it like having a big who's able to shoot that well from the free throw line?
I told him after the game he's got to go 12 for 12. There's more out there. Whether it's the offensive glass, he's impacting I think his spirit too. I mean, you just see him enjoys playing, and it's good to see him growing as a player. And he's got great hands. He finishes, and for big guys like that, making free throws is really, really important, because they're down there, they're mixing it up, and to be able to punish a defense for fouling you it's a big deal. To miss those shots sometimes is deflating, and he's getting and ones and making his free throws, and he's efficient right now.
Coach, you talk about the Cavs being a very good team when it comes to points in the paint. I believe it was a big discrepancy in points in the paint, 72-44. Just talk about your team's ability to get this win with such a big discrepancy when it comes to points in the paint tonight.
Well, 72 is better than some of the other games we've had. So, I think if you look at, it's important to look at points in the paint, and we'll watch the film again, but to see how they got them. When they're getting them in transition, fast break points, those are sometimes have more to do with what you're doing offensively than anything. But I think it's something our guys are aware of and we're working on. Donovan has a way of getting in the paint, and so does Garland. So keeping those guards, out of the middle of the floor is a big deal, where you can actually give each other some help. And it's something we'll continue to, to practice and talk about and commit to.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, shit.
DJ, Quinn talked a lot about the connectivity that you guys had out there on the floor tonight. I'm just kind of curious, what worked for you guys tonight to stay so connected?
Just knowing that, we in a must-win situation, trying to just control the Atlanta Hawks, executing the offense and defense end. And, one thing, like I said to you guys before, Coach Quinn's very vocal, and, his spirits is always high. So, like I said, we came out ready to play for 48 minutes, and we got a great win.
DJ, obviously getting the foul calls tonight from three. I know you did that against, I believe it was either Memphis or Indiana. Is there something different that you're doing or that you're seeing from defenses to be able to get those calls?
I mean, just playing my game. Obviously I'm somebody who don't hunt fouls. I just try to play the game the right way. And, for me, I just try to tell the refs if they see, me actually get hit, it'd be cool to get a call here and there. But at the end of the day, I ain't hunting calls. They call some calls, whether it was our way or their way, and that's just how the game went.
Onyeka has been kind of taking off a bit, especially coming off of the bench. I'm kind of curious what you've seen from him in practice, or what Quinn has kind of been teaching him and talking to him about that's helped him kind of have this bit of an explosive stretch.
I mean, they got a great plan for him. Obviously, he was a high pick, so there's expectations there. But, the great part about him, he's a great person, a great teammate, always smiling. And he works really hard. Every time I walk in the gym, he's always just working on something, his touch, his free throws, his corner threes, all type of stuff. And, for him, I'm just happy to see him successful, because for me, when I get to see guys that are great, as human, but work hard. It's only right. You want to see them type of people successful. So, the sky's the limit. He just got to stay humble, stay confident, and just keep working.
Okay, we got time for one.
How you doing?
Good.
At the end of the game, my name is Joshua Sam, by the way. I'm a student from Morehouse College.
Okay.
During the end of the game, you were nearing 30 points. And in that moment, you're kind of, in the game. Of course, you have your other team players. Your coach mentioned as well that a big thing for y'all is teamwork. How do you make sure to balance while being hungry and trying to get those points, making sure to kind of keep an eye open to the rest of the court and not get too caught up in yourself in that moment to kind of bring your best to the team?
Word of advice, you never play for points. I promise you, I love the game of basketball. I'm passionate about the game, playing the right way. And playing the right way is, defending, talking, passing to the open guy. And, the ball will come back to you. And whatever you work on, it will show. And you just got to be aggressive. But aggressive is not always for yourself. It could be for your teammates more than for you. And for me, like I said, I love the game. I love playing it the right way. And, I don't chase points. Some nights, I'm going to get a lot of points or not a lot of points, but it's how you play the game overall.
Hey, Coach talked about kind of battling through adversity, kind of with that connectiveness. How good does it feel to actually kind of get that result after a couple games where maybe it didn't go that way for you guys?
I mean, great. Especially for me, I love adversity. I think there's a bunch of guys in the locker room who, love adversity, wherever they came up from, their stories, their journey. And, I just feel like adversity builds the best people. For us, we got to just keep fighting, focus on the Atlanta Hawks, do the good, the bad, and keep the outside noise. And, like I said, adversity is a great thing. And, it showed tonight. We fought, and we got a great win versus a really great team. See you guys later.
Sorry, over here. Just asked DJ about you post game, and he just said, that guy's an absolute monster for us. 11 of 12 from the line. Did you know you could shoot free throws like that?
Yes. Yes. I just got to be more consistent, confident at the line, taking my time, but, I work on that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Coming off the bench, it just felt like you were everywhere. What was your mindset tonight going into tonight's game?
Overall, the bench mob, Bogey, Sadiq, AJ, JJ, we just, try and, take it up a notch and just bring a different level of intensity to the game.
Yeah, and just about the consistency, I know that's a big thing that Quinn's been talking about. Just what did you see from the whole team tonight, the starting unit, the bench unit, everyone playing that consistent style of basketball?
I think that overall, we were together a lot there on defense. Mitchell was making some tough shots, but overall I feel like we did a good job, the defense end of the floor.
Quinn has talked about you guys playing connected basketball. How do you translate how well you guys played tonight, connected together, to the rest of the games down this last stretch?
We were connected tonight and, got a win. So we try to keep doing it, and hopefully, you can transfer over to Brooklyn on Friday.
What's good? My name is Miles Edgewood. I'm a sophomore from Morehouse College, Harlem, New York. I peeped the Cavs was like catching up to y'all. Like I peeped that they was like peeping. So in the first quarter it was 24-24, 59-51 for the second one. And by the time it got to the third, it was like 94-84. And by then they was already like being more aggressive with their defense. So how did y'all like coordinate to be better with y'all offense that night?
Like they were saying before, just get connected. They're going to hit shots. The NBA players, they're going to hit some tough shots. But, we know what we're capable of. And we just buckled down at the end. We got some timely rebounds, made some, DJ making the free throws at the end. And that led us to the win tonight.
Elijah Harris, sophomore, Morehouse from Morehouse College. I want to talk about the play-in that's coming up in April. What are you guys doing to prepare to finish the rest of the season and get ready for that?
Win games. Just win as many games as possible. Put ourselves in a better position to, hopefully get into the playoffs.
What's it like for you to get to see Veet, who, is a guy who's kind of waited his opportunity to get minutes like that in a game like this tonight?
I just told Veet to me, just make sure you're locked in with me. I didn't know he was playing until tonight. So I just, try to, talk to him on the floor, encourage him, make sure he's as confident as possible, and he gave us some big minutes tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.